Are you ready for it?
She's been this sort of light in the world this year. She's brought so many people together.
Swift effect, the Taylor effect, the Travis Taylor effect.
It's all of it. I mean, when you talk to people, right, everyone is talking about Taylor, whether you like it or not.
I figured out the secret to Taylor Swift's success, but it is not what you think. Love her or hate her, you might have heard of Taylor Swift. But if you've been living under a rock, Taylor Swift is an American singer-songwriter. She transcends any definition of success, landing Time Magazine's Person of the Year for 2023. More than just a best-selling musician with the #1 tour worldwide,
Welcome to the Eras Tour!
selling 4,350,000 tickets to her Eras Tour to make more than $1 billion. She is Apple Music's 2023 Artist of the Year and Spotify's most streamed artist globally. She is an entrepreneur who created her own production company that made hundreds of millions of dollars while pissing off movie theater executives with her self-published movie that raked in $261 million with a budget of just $20 million. Earlier this week, her media attention overshadowed the Super Bowl because of her relationship to Travis Kelce.
One of these things is not like the others, like a rainbow with all of the colors.
There is no one else like Taylor Swift. Because of her overwhelming success and popularity, I have been obsessed with figuring out the secret to her success. But before I give away Taylor's secret, I want to explain my definition of success.
She wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts.
Because it is not fortune, fame, or glory. Success is figuring out why you were put on this earth, what you are meant to do, and doing it to the best of your ability. I believe in God, and I believe you were specially created to do something no one else on this planet was meant to do.
Look at what you made me do.
That could be a teacher, paramedic, parent, politician, or any number of other vocations that start with P. For 5 decades, the Gallup company has been studying people. They interviewed and studied more than 2 million people across more than 150 professions to find out what makes people successful. They study and point out what is right with people.
I'm the only one of me. Baby, that's the fun of me.
Gallup found that people are successful because they utilize their strengths. Near perfect and consistent performance in a productive activity. To make it easier for people to figure out where their strengths potential is and become successful, Gallup created the Strengths Finder assessment, now called CliftonStrengths. Today, almost 32 million people have taken the assessment to become more successful. One of the reasons I am so passionate about CliftonStrengths is because that is how I overcame a diagnosis of Asperger's.
He's not psychotic, he's autistic.
To become successful at many different things. I am also passionate about helping other people become successful and unlock their maximum potential. As a Gallup certified CliftonStrengths coach, I have spoken to and coached thousands of people on success. In a nutshell, people learn to succeed by taking the potential that starts with their CliftonStrengths talent themes and adding skills, knowledge, and experience. Because I live and breathe CliftonStrengths, I have been curious what Taylor Swift's top talent themes are. Because she is mega successful, I want to learn what she is doing so that I can apply it to my life to become more successful, and also share what I've learned with you all so you can become more successful too. I pulled together a few clips from the interwebs that show some of Taylor Swift's interviews that highlight some of the talent themes that I think that she has. Comment below what you think Taylor Swift's top talent themes are.
Do you always write about people that you know?
Yeah, because I feel like in a song, I love it when a song is a story and the story develops. And my favorite stories have really beautiful characters, and I feel like you can most accurately describe a character if you know them. That's kind of how I like to tell a story, is from the point of view of really knowing what you're talking about and knowing where you're coming from because you were there. And I think, having always been a writer first, I'm obsessed with the syncopation of the way that words sound when they're said a certain way. And okay, well, I loved making the video for Mine because it dealt with this whole storyline, and it's like got flashbacks and flash forwards. But I've always been a writer first. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite thing, is how you can convey a thought or a story or completely describe a character or a situation through words.
I mean, I never expected that a song that I wrote in like 9th grade for my 9th grade talent show would end up being #1 for 6 weeks.
Do you hear some of the common threads of what she's saying in these interviews?
If you were not a singer, what would you be doing?
Might be in advertising. Maybe like coming up with slogans and concepts is the same as hooks and songs.
Do you think you'll direct all of your videos from here on forward?
I really love doing it.
You're great at it.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Writing them and then directing them, that's kind of the way that it works in my head. If I write it, then I can shot list it and I can storyboard it and I know how to shoot it. So they kind of go hand in hand. And you know what? I really want to tell a story that goes along with it visually, that's more than a music video. I'd been directing my music videos for a while at this point, and writing and directing them was really fun for me.
If you guessed communication, then you are correct. This is one of the main talent themes that I think that Taylor Swift leads with. People exceptionally talented in the communication theme generally find it easy to put their thoughts into words. They are good conversationalists and presenters. They like to explain, to describe, to speak, and to write. They feel a need to bring their ideas to life, to energize them, to make them exciting and vivid. They turn events into stories and they practice telling them. These are some of the reasons why people like and listen to Taylor Swift songs. They connect to other people through their words. They love stories and storytelling. This is the communication talent theme at work. She loves writing songs. She loves directing her music videos. She is telling stories, and that is one of the main things about communication. Okay, let's move on to the next talent theme.
I mean, I remember like when I was in school, the whole reason I started writing songs was because I was alone a lot of the time.
What's the most difficult song to perform on stage and why?
There's a song I wrote called The Best Day that is about my mom, and it's just hard to sing because it makes me really emotional.
Yeah, I have been all over the map as far as emotion-wise going. Like with this album, it's been such an emotional process. Like writing it for those 2 years.
Do you hear some common words and phrases in her interviews?
I know a lot of us can relate really strongly to your songs and your lyrics. And considering I've gotten choked up a couple of times just listening to your songs, I wonder if you ever get choked up on stage or what you're thinking about when you're on stage.
She's pretty. I'm really in it when I'm on stage, and you know, I go through a roller coaster of emotions when I'm performing my show because these are all songs about people who have been in my life, who a lot of them, some of them aren't in my life anymore, and you know, sometimes that'll hit you in just the right way, and when an emotion hits you strongly, it doesn't matter if you're in front of 20,000 people, it hits you. And you know, for me, I'm in those songs, fully feeling all of it, until I hear the crowd start screaming at the end of the song. I'm completely feeling all the sadness and frustration and anger and hurt, and then the crowd starts screaming, and then everything is right in the world.
Has a fan ever made you cry?
Yeah, you know, for me, like, it's never gonna be okay no matter how many times I see little kids with cancer. Like, there's at no point do you ever become accustomed to it.
Can you hear the emotion in everything that she's talking about?
And I'm still saying that when I go through tough times, so it's like,
you know, that it's worked out.
It's a creative way to get your feelings out, and it's a very successful way to get your feelings out.
Thank you.
So if you guessed the talent theme of empathy, that's what I think too. People exceptionally talented in the empathy theme can sense other people's feelings by imagining themselves in others' lives or situations. People with empathy sense the emotions of those people around them. All right, let's check out the next series of video clips.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Healing people.
What's the best compliment you've ever received?
That I'm generous.
And those two goals were to, in spite of success, remain the same person, and in spite of success, remain the same songwriter. When I was 12 years old and I started writing songs, I was writing songs about my life.
If you are enjoying this video, hit that subscribe button.
What you don't realize is that no matter what, you're a role model, whether you choose to embrace it or whether you choose to ignore it. And I just choose to embrace it because I feel like it's the biggest honor in the world when a mom comes up to me and says, my 8-year-old daughter listens to your music and I think that it's so great that she looks up to you. You know, that's not just a compliment on my music or a show that I did. That's a compliment on my character. Mm-hmm. And that's really, really sweet to get that. That's a wonderful thing.
What do you think is the most important life lesson for someone to learn?
That karma's real.
Karma is real. That completely sounds like connectedness to me. People exceptionally talented in the connectedness theme have faith in the links among all things. They believe there are few coincidences and that almost every event has meaning. They feel that things happen for a reason. They are sure of it, just like karma. This feeling of connectedness also implies certain responsibilities. You can also see her connectedness and responsibility in these following clips.
She defended the fan multiple times and told security to stop so she could stay and enjoy the concert.
Taylor Swift was seen tipping the cooking staff $100 bills.
Taylor Swift donated $100,000 to the family of the woman who was fatally shot earlier this week at the Kansas City Super Bowl parade.
Taylor Swift is very considerate of her fans. During the Eras tour, Taylor went out of her way to ensure that fans with obstructed view tickets felt part of the show. She makes every single person in a stadium of more than 70,000 people feel seen, including those behind the stage and in the nosebleed sections.
If you are enjoying this video, hit that like button.
Taylor Swift gave up $50 million, but you won't believe why she did it. Taylor Swift is currently on her Eras tour and was so happy about the success of her show that she wanted to give millions of dollars in bonuses to every worker that's been working with her on tour.
Do you see how Taylor Swift feels that it is her duty to respond to those who cry out for help and to serve those who have needs that could be met? You can also see a little bit of responsibility and relator here. The longer she serves her fans, the more she is likely to appreciate them and the more they are likely to appreciate her. This is why her fan base keeps growing. So that is how Taylor Swift is successful with her Gallup CliftonStrengths talent themes: communication, empathy, connectedness, responsibility, and relator. Taylor uses her communication to be an amazingly talented songwriter. She shares and tells stories about her life. As she is telling her stories, she is telling emotional stories, and it is that empathy that allows her to be in touch with not only her emotions, but those of her fans. And songwriting is so much about emotion. I think that is why so many people are captivated with her songs, because they connect with her emotionally. Another reason that Taylor Swift fans connect with her is because of her connectedness. She just is connected to everything. Like when she talks about karma.
Karma is the guy on the cheese.
She's also connected to her fans through her sense of responsibility and relator. These things that she does when she takes care of the people around her, when she takes care of her fans, all enamor her fans towards her. And this is why she continues to be more and more successful. Now, disclaimer, I do not actually know what her CliftonStrengths talent themes are, but from my 20 years of coaching, this is what I think they are. Taylor Swift, if you are watching, or if you know Taylor, I would love to get her a access code so that she can actually take this assessment, because I'm so curious what her talent themes are. Okay, so that is how Taylor Swift is successful. She uses her talent themes. She is herself. So if you want to learn how you can be successful with your own Gallup CliftonStrengths talent teams, check out this playlist here.